Hi all, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Last class we were discussing about different registers uh, that are in 8086. So we can continue the same topic. So last class we were discussing about the general data register, uh, point register also. So next is index register. In 8086 there are two index registers are there. Uh, that is source index and destination index register. Source index and both are 16 with the registers. Okay, these index registers are mainly used for string manipulation operations and all. Okay, so this is uh, source index. That is source index is a 16-bit register. Source index register is used to point the memory location in the data set. Okay. Then next is destination index. So same operation, similar to source index register, but it is a destination index. It is also a 16-bit register. Okay. So these are the two index registers in 8086. Both are 16-bit. Okay, both are 16-bit register. Then next is segment register. Okay. As we have discussed that in 8086, the 1 MB of memory is divided into 16 different logical segments. Okay, that
Sir,
entire
മൈക്ക്
one.
ക്ലിയർ ഇല്ല.
Sorry,
മൈക്ക് ക്ലിയർ കിട്ടുന്നില്ല.
clear കിട്ടുന്നില്ല. ഇപ്പോൾ സൗണ്ട് കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? ക്ലിയർ ആണോ? ക്ലിയർ ആണോ? Okay. So the 1 MB memory is divided into 16 logical segments. That means our 1 MB memory, entire 1 MB memory will be divided into like this 16 different logical segments. And each segment contain a 64 kilobytes of memory location. That means each segment contain 64 kilobytes of memory. Our entire 1 MB will be divided into different logical segments. That means entire 1 MB will be divided into 16 different logical segments, and each segment contain a 64 kilobyte of memory. And there are 4 segment registers are used for accessing these 1 MB, entire 1 MB memory locations. Okay, so these are the 4 segment registers. That is code segment register, data segment register, extra segment register, and the stack segment register. So these are the 4 segment register which are used to access the entire 1 MB memories. Okay, so we can see what is a code segment register, data segment register, and all. Okay, so first one is code segment register. Code segment, this one. We will call it as CS. Okay. Actually, it is used for addressing memory location in the code segment of the memory. Okay, code segment, our instruction. Okay, that means where our executable programs are stored. Okay, so that is code segment register. Okay, code segment registers are used for addressing the memory location in the code segment of the memory. Okay, so that is code segment, or we can simply say that it is used to access the stored executable programs, our instruction. Okay, so data segment is another data segment register. What is the beauty of data segment register? It is point to the data segment of the memory where actual data is stored. Okay, so data segment is used to point the data segment of the memory. As we have discussed that we will divide the entire memory into different segments. 16 different segments. Each segment is having the size 64 kilobytes. So for accessing this memory location, we will use these different register. So in that, data segment register are used to point the data segment of the memory where actual data are stored. Okay, so that is data segment register. And next one is extra segment register. It is also similar to data segment register. Okay, also it is used to point the data segment in the memory. Okay, so while programming and all, we can see the differences. What are the what are the contents that is stored in extra segment, and what are the contents that are stored in the data segment. Now you just remember that both are used to point the data segment. Okay, data segment in the memory. Okay. Then next one is stack segment register. Okay, stack segment register. Actually, what is the duty of a stack segment register? It is used for addressing the stack segment of the memory. Okay, so stack segment registers are used for addressing the stack segment of the memory. Okay, so these are the different segment registers available in the 8086 microprocessor. Code segment register is the data segment register, extra segment register, and the stack segment register. Okay, next we can discuss one important register, that is flag register. Okay, flag register. Actually, in 8086, it is a 16-bit register. Okay, it is a 16-bit register. This is the flag register, 16-bit register, but we are using only 9 bits for implementing our flags. Okay, we are using only 9 bits. That means there are 9 flags are there in the 8086 microprocessor. 9 flags are there. Okay, so we can divide the entire 9 flags into 2 categories. That is, one is 6 conditional flags are there, and 3 control flags are there. Okay, we are dividing that into 2 categories. One is conditional flag, and next one is control flag. Here in 8086, it is having 6 conditional flag, 6 conditional flag, and 3 control flags are there. Remaining bits in the flag register will be undefined. They are if it is an undefined bits. Okay, so these are the flag registers: OIF, DF, IF, TF, SF, ZF, AC, PF, and CY. We can see. First we can discuss this conditional flags. As we have studied that there are 6 conditional flags are there. Okay, so these are the 6 conditional flags available in the 8086 microprocessor. What are they? First is sign flag. Okay, sign flag. What is the duty of a sign flag? It represents the sign of the result. After performing any operation, sign flag will represent the sign of the result. If it is 0 means the result is positive, and if it is 1 means the result is negative. Okay, so that is sign flag. Next one is zero flag, ZF, zero flag. Actually, zero flag is the that means it will set if the result produced by an instruction is 0. Okay, after performing an operation, if the result is 0, then 0 flag will be set. Okay, so that is 0 flag. Then another one is parity flag is there. Parity. Okay, this flag is set to 1 if the lower byte of the result contain even number of 1s. So that is 1, then it will be even parity, and if it is 0, then it will be odd parity. Okay, so that is parity flag. Next one is carry flag. Okay, carry flag. Actually, in carry flag means after performing any arithmetical operation, if there is any carry generated in the most significant bit, in case of addition or in case of subtraction, okay, then carry flag will be set. Okay, so the 0 represent there is no carry, and 1 represent there is a carry. Then next flag is auxiliary carry. So carry flag, we have studied that after performing the arithmetical operation, if there is a carry is generated in the most significant, okay, carry out in the most significant, then carry flag will be set. The next one is auxiliary carry flag. So in auxiliary carry flag, this is said when there is a carry from the lowest nibble in the uh, arithmetic operation. Lowest nibble. If there is a carry occur in the lowest nibble, or if there is a borrow occur in the lowest nibble, then auxiliary carry flag will be set. Okay. Then last conditional flag is overflow flag. That means after performing any operation, if there is any overflow occur, then overflow flag will be set. Okay. So these are the different flag registers. Sorry, conditional flag registers. Sign flag, zero flag, parity flag, carry flag, auxiliary carry flag, and overflow flag. Okay. The next one is there are three control flags are there. Okay, three control flags are. These are the control flags. TF, that is trap flag. Okay, and IF, that is interrupt flag, and DF, direction flag. Okay, TF, IF, and DF. Here, the trap flag. It is used for single step control and allows the user to execute one instruction at a time. ആ ആ ഞാൻ ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്തു. ഓക്കെ അത് ഞാൻ ഓക്കെ ഇപ്പോൾ വിസിബിൾ ആണോ? നിങ്ങൾ കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? നെറ്റ് ഇഷ്യൂ ഉണ്ടായി ശരി. ഞാൻ ഓഡിയബിൾ ആണോ?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So flag registers. Okay. So these are the control flags in 8080. What are they? Trap flag is the trap flag. It is used for single step control. Okay, and allow the user to execute one instruction at a time for debugging. Okay, so that is trap flag. Then this is interrupt flag. Interrupt flag means if the flag is set, there is an interrupt. Okay, so this flag is set. The maskable interrupts are recognized by the CPU. Okay, otherwise it is ignored. So this is interrupt flag. Then last one is direction flag. Okay, direction flag means it is actually these direction flags are mainly used for string manipulation instructions and all. Okay, here zero represent this direction flag. Zero represent means what? The strings is processed beginning from the lowest address to the highest address. That is in the increment mode. Okay, and if it is representing 1 means the string is processed from the highest address to lowest address, like auto decrement mode. Okay, so that is direction flag. So these are the three flags: trap flag, interrupt flag, and the direction flag. Three control flags available in the 8086 microcontroller. Okay, so these are the flags. 6 conditional flags are there and 3 control flags are there. ഓക്കെ, നിങ്ങൾ ജസ്റ്റ് ഇതിന്റെ പേരുകളും അതിന്റെ ഫങ്ഷൻസും ഓർത്ത് വെക്കുക. എന്താണ് സൈൻ ഫ്ലാഗ്, സീറോ ഫ്ലാഗ്, പാരിറ്റി, ക്യാരി, ഓക്സിലറി ക്യാരി, ഓവർഫ്ലോ ഫ്ലാഗ്, ആൻഡ് ട്രാപ്പ്, ഇന്ററപ്റ്റ്, ഡയറക്ഷൻ ഫ്ലാഗ്. ഓക്കെ, ജസ്റ്റ് റിമെമ്പർ ദ നെയിം ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ്സ് functionalities. So that's all about the register organization. Okay, the next one is our next topic is signals 8086. Signals 8086. Okay. So we can classify or we can categorize the 8086 signals into 3 groups. Mainly we can categorize it into 3 groups. As we have studied that there are 2 modes of operations are there in 8086. That is minimum mode operation and maximum mode operations. Okay. So based on that, it will be categorized the signals in the 8086 into 3 categories or 3 groups. So these are the 3 groups. First one is signal having common function in minimum as well as maximum mode. Okay, signal having common function in minimum as well as maximum mode. And the next one is the signal which have a special function in minimum mode. Okay, last one is signal having special function in maximum mode. Okay, so these are the 3 groups. One is signal common for both minimum as well as maximum mode. Okay, then next one is signal special function in minimum mode and signal having special function in maximum. Okay, we can do. So in 8086, how many pins are there? How many pins are there in 8086? Anybody? Liana, how many pins are there in 8086? Liana Mariam. How many pins in 8086? How they are arranged? കേൾക്കുന്നില്ലേ? ആബ്സെന്റ് ആണോ? Sejal TP. Sejal. How many pins are there? ഞാൻ ഓഡിയബിൾ അല്ലേ? തുളസി,
Yes, sir.
ഓക്കെ പറയൂ. തുളസി, തുളസി കെ പറഞ്ഞോളൂ. ഹൗ മെനി പിൻസ് ആർ ദർ in 8086? അനുപമ,
Yes, sir. 40 pins അല്ലേ?
40 പിൻസ്. ഓക്കെ, ബാക്കിയുള്ളവരൊന്നും ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് കേൾക്കുന്നില്ലേ? So the 40 pins are there. Okay, so through these pins only these signals are transferred. Okay, 40 pins are there. So before discussing the detailed this pin diagram, first you should know two things. That is, in minimum mode, actually it is a single processor configuration mode. Okay, so that point you should remember. Two modes are there: minimum mode and maximum mode. Here, in minimum mode, actually it is a single processor mode. That means, what does that mean? All the control signal which are needed for memory and IO operations are provided by the single processor. Okay, so that is single processor mode. In minimum mode, actually it is a single processor mode. Okay, and in maximum mode, it provides signals for implementing a multi-processor or co-processor system environment. Okay, so in maximum mode, there may be more than one processor. Okay, in my minimum mode, there is only one processor, and in maximum mode, there may be more than one processor. Okay, so that thing you should remember. In minimum mode, only single processor, and maximum mode, it is a multi-processor environment, or we can call it as a co-processor environment. Okay, so in minimum mode, there will be certain roles for certain pins. Similarly, in maximum mode, certain roles may be there in certain pins. Okay, so we can discuss each pin in detail. Okay, so while in maximum mode, that is from 24 to, you can see here, 24 to 31. These are the functions that are performed in maximum mode. Okay, while in minimum mode, the pin 24 to 31, it will be performed these functions. Okay, hold, write, memory, bar IO. Okay, so we can discuss each functions. First, we can discuss what are the signals that are common in minimum and maximum. As we have discussed that there are three categories are there. One is signal which are common to minimum and maximum mode, and next one is signal which that is for minimum mode, and next one is signal which is useful for maximum mode. So first we can discuss the signal that are common to both minimum and maximum mode. So these are the signals. Okay, that is from 23, 22, and 21. These pins, and all these pins. Okay, from 1 to 20, and from 32 to 40. Okay, 32 to 40. So these are the pins which are common to both minimum and maximum mode, which are common for both the minimum and maximum. First, we can discuss what are the functionalities of these pins. That is, first we can discuss these address pins. That is from pin 16 to pin 2 and pin 39. Okay, so these pins we will call it as data bar address line. Okay, data bar address line, that is from pin 2. Pin 2 to pin 16 and pin 39. Okay, so these are the data bar address line. That means by using these pin, it will transfer either data or address. Okay, so the lower order address, that is from AD0 to AD14 and AD15. Okay, so these signals are passing through these lines. Actually, these 16 pins are used for transferring both the data and address. Actually, it is a time multiplexed address and data line. Time multiplexed address and data line means at clock time 1, first clock time, it will send a 16-bit address. Okay. Then after that, remaining clock period, it will send the 16-bit data. Likewise, it will transfer data and addresses. Okay. So for identifying whether the pins are transferring address or (16-bit data). Okay, next clock period, it will transfer 16-bit data. So that is address bar data line. Then there is another pin, that is these pins. That is pin number 35, 36, 37, 38. These are the address bar status. Okay, address bar status pin. That means by using these pins, it will transfer the higher order address bit, and also it will transfer the status information. Okay, these are also time multiplexed address bar status pin. Okay, time multiplexed address bar status pin. That means at the first clock period, it will transfer address, and the next clock period, it will transfer the status signals. Okay, status. So that's all about address pins. Okay, so pin number 2 to 16 and 39. These are address bar data lines, and pin number 35 to 38. Okay, so these are address bar status line. Okay, then another pin is there, that is pin number 34. Pin number 34. It is called a bus high enabled. Bus high enabled. Actually, this bus high enabled pins are used to indicate the transfer of data in using higher order data bus, that is D15 to D18. Okay, sorry, D15 where it comes, D15. Okay, so D15 to this D8. That means D8 to D15. Okay, so bus high enable pin, which is used to indicate the transfer of data. Okay, Next pin is read pin. This one. Okay, read pin. Actually, this read pin is also an active low pin. That means when you provide an active low signal, then it will be active. Okay. So actually, read pin it indicates the peripherals. That means suppose if you are performing any memory read or memory write, IO read operation. So for that, it will use this read pin. Okay, so actually it is an active low pin used to indicate the peripheral that the processor is performing a memory or IO read operations. Okay, so that is read pin. Then next one is test pin. Okay, here you can see a test pin. This one, test pin. So actually this is also an input pin, actually which is used in case of wait instructions and all. Okay, that means if the input goes low, then execution will continue, else the processor remain in the ideal state. Okay, so that is test pin. Then next one is ready pin is the ready pin. Actually this ready pin is an acknowledgement pin. That means suppose if a memory operation or any other external device operation is completed, then it will inform that it is completed. That means it will provide an acknowledgement that it is ready for performing another operation. Okay, so that is ready pin is there. Then another pin is reset pin is there. Reset pin means which is used to reset the processor. Okay, reset to its initial condition. Okay, so that is reset pin. Then next one is VSS, that is pin 1 and pin 20. So these are the ground pins. Pin 1 and 20, these are the ground pins. Then pin 90, these pins are used for providing clocks. Okay, for providing clocks. And these pin 17 and 18. So these are interrupt pins. Okay, as we have discussed that two types of interrupts are the maskable interrupt and non-maskable interrupt. Here NMI, that is non-maskable interrupt pin. Okay, non-maskable interrupt pin. Then INTR, which is also an interrupt request pin. So that is maskable interrupt request pin. Then next one is VCC, 40th pin, that is VCC. Okay, for providing the VCC, it use this 40th pin. So these are the common, these are the pin that are common to both the maximum and the minimum mode. Okay, so we can see that is first one is address and data line. Okay, so our AD1 to this AD14 and AD15, that is from pin 1 2 to 16 and 39. Okay, so these are the address bar data line, that is from 2 to 16 and 39. Actually these are 16-bit address bar data line, and also we have studied that it is having dual function. That means they act as an address bus during the first part of the machine cycle, and they act as a data bus during the remaining part, later parts. So that is why we will call it is a time multiplexed address and data line. Okay, AD15 to AD0. These are time multiplexed address and data line. Okay, and that means during the first clock cycle it carries 16-bit address, and after that it carries 16-bit data. Okay, after that it carries 16-bit data. The next one is address bar status pin. Address bar status pin, that is pin number A19, A18, A17, and A16. Okay, these pins. 35, 36, 37, and 38. So these are the address bar status pin. ബാക്കി ഞാൻ അടുത്ത ക്ലാസ്സിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എടുത്തു തരാം ഇതിൻ്റെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള